Shalom. Glad you guys are here. Oh, strange. My internet is complaining. Oh, not one of these days. Come on. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to see if I can change the... I'm afraid if I quit, then it won't give me time to reconnect. Anybody upstairs, please hop off of Globe, huh? Let's see. All right. That looks a bit better. Woo! We're back! Sorry about that. All right. Shalom, Brenda, Thea. Jeff, Yakar, Pei. One of the admins, please pin the little thing I put with the support link up there. For some reason, YouTube stopped letting me pin my own things. I don't understand. So, Ted or Brenda, one of you guys, ladies, you can see where I wrote to support this work at the top. You should have 3 dots here. You can click on it and then click pin message to the top. You should be able to do that. I don't know why. It lets me pin everybody else's stuff, but not my own anymore. I don't know what happened. Annie, Pei, Yakar, Tet, Pereira, Troy, Felisa, Raphael, servant of Hashem, Inc. 961, Mentat Assassin, El Andrade, Boker Tov Gam Lecha, Elizabeth, Betty, Kenneth, Dr. DeVera, Jeff. Oh, Jeff said he just finished the part 4 from the Noach triennial, and he's ready to do more learning. Awesome. May Hashem bless all of your learning today. Manju. All right. Great. Glad you guys are all here. See, we just got to have technical problems for 5 minutes, and then it's a good startup. All right, let's just say real quick freeform prayer. Avinu Makeinu, ken ratzon ki timalei et fi halayla hazeh, ki ani yachol ledaber rak ki ata rotzeh. Tishlach na aleinu et ruach hakodesh. Ta'azer na et kol talmudai Adonai. Tishlach lahem Adonai, tishlach na lahem et simchatecha. בלבבם, לכל הדברים האלה אנחנו נברכך בזכות ישוע המשיח. Okay, let's go. So we're not going to be in the graphic novel tonight because, again, it's just that same huge page of text and just like some little kind of sloppy picture on the top. So what's the point? So better that we're in the actual Koran pub text. And I took a screenshot of it. I took a picture of it. So we'll have our ability to write on it if we like tonight, okay? That's nice, Ted. Yeah, that'll work. You didn't have to, that's fine. Can you pin your message or the one that I wrote? Oh, see, I can pin yours. Great. That I can pin. There we go. It won't let me pin my own messages. It used to. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, Ted. All right. Oh, they would, see, look at, that's weird. So Brenda, it wouldn't let you guys pin my message either. Something changed in the settings. Are my messages not pinnable? What's going on? I'm the channel owner. Why can't my messages be pinned? All right. Funny. I'm going to need feedback from you guys. If something happens that we have an issue again, let me know. Lo alainu. Because the YouTube Creator Studio feedback is weird now. It's just showing stuck. It says excellent connection, but then it's just like whirling, so I don't really know what to think about that. Okay, and let me see here. Okay, that's good. Oh, right, I moved it down. There we go. Hold on, let me work. And stretching this a little bit. It's irritating me. It keeps showing my status bar. I don't want my status bar to show up. That takes some of our real estate away. Strange. Sorry, you guys, having to deal with a little bit of my, automatically hide the taskbar. But yet it's not. Oh well, it's my own fault for staying on Windows all these years. Hey, thanks for those. Okay, great. The video's clear. That's great. All right. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Okay. I just want to see my PowerPoint. There it is. Okay, so let's go. Let's do it. Here we are. We are in Hebrew Exodus chapter 26, verse 19. And we're continuing with all of the interesting information about the building of the Mishkan. Thank you for your efforts, admins. All right. Yod Tet, that's 19. Let's go. Vearbaiym anechesef taaseh tachat haqaresh. Right? So ve'arba'im. So arba, you should recognize, that's 4. And when we have a number, shalom, Julie, if you know the numbers 1 through 9, well, not 1, 2 through 9, and you just put an im on the end, that's the equivalent of putting a 0 on the end of a number in English, or whatever language it uses, Arabic numerals. So if you know that arba is 4, and I want to say 40, I just say, for the ve'arbaiym, the im, right? So yeah, maybe I'll detail that. So that makes it with the 0 on the end. So this is very useful to know. So the plural ending, im, that's like putting a 0 on the end in English, right? So I'll do it over here. 0. And the arba, that's 4. So that's our 4 part. Okay? So the im makes it a 0 on the end. So I could do the same thing with shalosh, right? Shalosh is 3, shaloshim, 30. Chamesh, 5, chamishim, 50. Shesh, 6, shishim, 60. Sheva, 7, shive'im, 70. Shmone, 8, shimonim, 80. Tesha, 9, tesha'im, 90. Okay, and then that's it. So 2 to 9, you basically get a second set of numbers for free if you just remember that putting that im on the end, that will make it into a 0 on the end like in English. Okay, this part going over here. All right. Boom. Any comments or questions? You guys good? Oh, I noticed another thing in the YouTube studio. I noticed... Okay, wait. My microphone's going red. Are you guys hearing clipping when I talk? Is the audio okay? I need to turn down my gain. Shalom. 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 Oh, that seems better. Shalom. Is it better now than it was? Oh, it's still going red. Shalom. All right, we'll leave it so. Okay, good. Okay. Let me know if you hear like background noises or anything. I'm not sure if I turned the gain too great or something. All right, so let's continue. So, ve is and. Arba'im, 40. Adeney chesef. So an Eden, this is the word Eden, don't think of the Garden of Eden. This is a pedestal. So, because it's a Segholate, it's got that pattern we've been talking about, the like melech, then it becomes the when we make the plural. So, melech is king, melachim are kings, right? Sefer, safrim, scrolls. So, Eden, adnim. And then we drop the mem for of, you get adeney, so that's pedestals of, that's this part, pedestals of chesef, silver. Taaseh. Thanks, Pereira. Okay, good. Taaseh. So let's look here. Taaseh. So this part, you guys should be recognizing for now. When we have the tav attached to the front of a verb, that tav should be reminding you of this word. Ta. Ata. Right? Meaning you talking to a man. Ata. Little hard to see that light blue. All right, I'll use a darker one next time. For now, let it stand. Ata. So when you see the ta in front of the verb, or if you see ta at the end of a verb, that reminds you of ata, you. That guy right up over there. Okay? So, asa, you guys know the verb, hopefully. Asa. It's okay if you don't, if you're new. To do or to make. So, taaseh, you will make tachat. So, tachat can mean a few different things. It can mean under. I'm over here. Tachat. It can mean under. It can mean in place of. That's probably good enough. Those two guys. Okay. In place of. Now, if you don't know this word yet, and you are from a country that has a lot of Jews, most Jews are Ashkenaz Jews, even after the Holocaust. We're still the majority of the majority nusach in the world, bli ayin hara. And this is primarily what you see, for example, in the United States, right? Most Jews in the world are in Israel or the United States, okay? Put that together, it's like 90+% of world Jewry, okay? So, whether you're a Jew or not, you've probably heard the word tuchas before. Tuchas, right? Tuchas? I kicked him in the tuchas. You know? Or maybe you heard the diminutive tushi. Right? Tushi's like a cute tuchas, a baby tuchas. A kid might have a tushy, right? Little one. Oh, so like a little finger is cute, right? So small. So tuchas, it comes from the Ashkenaz pronunciation in the Hebrew, right? So this letter here at the end, in Ashkenaz, in the German Jewish pronunciation, when you see the tav without a dot, that's an S sound. It's S. But this isn't how we read it usually when we read. We read more like the Israeli pronunciation, right? Siding with Klal Yisrael, which takes a Sephardi pronunciation. For them, it's always a T, but with a dot, without a dot. But the German Jews differentiate between a T and a S sound. So if it's got the dot in it, we need a color change. If it's got the dot in it, it's a T sound. You don't have to know this. Just you get a free word if you haven't memorized this before. So with the dot, in German Jewish pronunciation, Ashkenaz, or European Jewish, maybe we'd say, is a T. And without the dot, without the dagesh, is an S. Okay. So if we were to read this word in Ashkenaz pronunciation of the Hebrew, we'd say tachas. Tachas. So can you see how that came into Yiddish language, which is the Ashkenaz Jewish language? It became tuchas. Right? So very close, right? So, all right. So that's the butt. Because it's the part that's under you when you're sitting, right? Make sense? All right. So that's a free word. You probably knew that already just from TV shows with Jewish actors or if nothing else. By the way, did you know that Leonard Nemoy and William Shatner, both Jews, used to talk on the set in Yiddish? They practiced their Yiddish together. Isn't that cool? All right. Continuing on. Asrim haqaresh. Asrim. So this one works a little bit differently. Aser, you might remember as 10. But for some reason, when you put im on the end of 10, it's not 100. That's a totally different number. Instead, that's how you say 20. And it's totally illogical because you would have expected the dual, the ayim ending, like 2 tens. Oh well. So asrim is basically 2 tens, but without a dual ending. So asrim is 20. Haqaresh, of the keresh. This word is keresh. So if you look it up in a dictionary, this will be a segol. See? Just like this guy. You have 2 of those. It's going to be keresh. It's only an ah here because it's got the little wishbone accent that I covered up with the orange circle. You can't see it now. Oh, here, I'll just... There. It's got that wishbone. Wishbone, wishbone, witch's brew. What in the world are you trying to do? So the wishbone, that guy is saying there's a special oomph on this word. And the segol, the 3 dots is a small vowel. But the capital T, the comments, that's a stronger vowel. And so when they hit it hard in their memorization, it lengthens. It's called pause, being in pause. So haqaresh. Keresh is a plank, like a wooden plank. Usheney adanim tachat haqaresh ha'echad lishetey yedotayv usheney adanim tachat haqaresh ha'echad lishetey yedotayv. So sheney adanim. Sheney, it's from shnayim, which is 2. Drop the mem. Literally it says two of. Two of adanim, pedestals. Now you remember when I was talking about the dual, that, thanks, good. Raphael likes it's a good mnemonic device. Remember when I was talking about, we have the dual ending in Hebrew, ayim. If you have ayim at the end, it means two of a thing, right? Im is just plural, ot is just plural, but ayim means two of it, right? So like yomayim becomes yomayim, it's 2 days, right? Or yadayim, 2 hands, right? Or shulchanayim, 2 tables. But I also shared with you that biblical Hebrew is not consistent with this, in that you don't always use the dual. You can use it, you don't have to. All right, it is consistent with body parts, like human body parts, unless you're talking about a festival that's based off it, then not always. But so that's what's happening here, so that you don't think I lied to you. I'm just reminding you. Remember I said not always? Here's an example of not always. They didn't have to say sheney adenayim. They could have said, pardon me, sheney hadanim. I made it dual. They could have said adenayim. The ayim ending instead of im would have meant 2 of them. But the text, maybe because it's an architectural, architectural text, they wanted to get it, make sure the worker knows it's sheney adanim, 2 of those guys, 2 edens, 2 pedestals, literally 2 of pedestals, tachat, underneath the tachas, tachat, haqaresh. And here we have, look at this. It's written the way we would expect if it was not in pause. So we've got, notice the vowels here. Sorry if you're just listening to the podcast. I'm doing a lot of drawing today. I'm just demonstrating there are 2 segols underneath the kof and resh, versus the one where we had it in pause. We had 1 segol, and then we had the comets instead in front. So haqaresh, when it had that accent on it. But now over here, so we said tachat asrim haqaresh, shenei adanim tachat haqaresh. You see? Haqaresh. Haqaresh, that one. That one's not as heavy as the da-da-da, et nachta, as that hard-hitting one with a big pause. Okay. Tachat haqaresh, underneath the plank. And if you remember, a couple lessons back, we mentioned that Rashi said that the karashim, the planks, were, he's commenting on why the text says that they're omedim, they're standing. He says that they were vertical in supporting of the structure. Ha-echad, the one, lishetey yedotayv, usheney adanim. Okay, stop. Ha-echad, the one, le. So le, you guys remember what le means, lamed? It's one of the Hebrew words of the day. And I'm sorry, I know I haven't been doing those daily lately, but there is a method to my madness. You should be reviewing. Whenever it comes down a bit, review, and then we'll go up and hit it again hard, and then go down. Also, I found that we get fewer views on them when I let them out every single day. So I thought that was odd and interesting. I don't know if it's an issue with the algorithm or not. So, by the way, are you guys enjoying the Weaponize Your Hebrew? I've done a few of those verses for Weaponize Your Hebrew shorts, like good Bible verses to memorize, to use in spiritual warfare, or just in strengthening our own midot and such. Let me know. Hey, good amount of viewers. Thanks, guys. Please make sure to do what Admin Brenda's saying. Hit that like button. So this, the lamed, he's in green now. I drew it in green. Okay. This guy means 2 or 4. Okay, 2 or 4. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that green. Okay, I'm learning. It's because the screen's not completely white. That's why it's more of like a off-white, the paper, the way the page is. Okay, I guess I'll make a darker color. PowerPoint only gives you so many choices. That's the darkest green I have. Maybe the lighter green will be easier. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? Lamed is 2 or 4. This is a must-know word. And it can mean like belonging to. So, why is it a hirik under here? What's going on there? Does anybody know? Because when you learn the inseparable prepositions, and here's what they are. Oh, go back. No, what are you doing? Go back. Oh, yeah, this is good. Okay. So, the inseparable prepositions are bait. These are the ones that they can't stand alone. Kaf and lamed. And by default, Look at that. We put a shewa underneath them, right? The little thing that looks like a colon. That's the default thing they take. Yeah, it's like a newspaper shade. Yeah, you're right, Brenda. Red is okay. Red's working. I just like to change the colors, for different things, but we'll just choose the ones that you can view well. Interesting. PowerPoint is freezing up on me. There we go. Okay. Okay, so, but you'll notice here, it's not a shewa underneath the lamed. It's not lishetey, it's lishetey. Does anybody know what happened there? Why is that lishetey? What's going on with that? So, I'll change color while you think about answering. I'll go back to red since it's so visible. So this is because we have this rule. If you have a word that starts with a consonant that has a shewa underneath it, yeah, that's right, Ink, you got it, 2 shewas, and you want to attach your new letter, like in this case, we're trying to attach our lamed, some prefix to the front of it, okay, and it's also got a shewa. That's not allowed. You cannot have 2 shewas in a row like this. Not allowed. Not at the beginning of a word. In the middle of a word, no problem. The syllable just splits down the middle, and the first shewa ends the first syllable, and the next one begins the next. So the first shewa will be silent, and the next one will be like vocalized. Like, they are protecting. Yishmeru. Right? I'll give you an example of that. Yishmeru. Okay, I can't really drill a shurik, but good enough. So in this example, you can see we have 2 shewas, but it's in the middle of the word, so no problem. So the syllable just breaks like this. So it's yish, that's a silent shewa because it ends a syllable. Meru, because the next one, because it starts a syllable. Okay, that's allowed. But at the beginning of a word, like here, this is not allowed. You can't say lishetey. So what happens is, yes, Julie got it. You read my mind. Wonderful. Compensatory lengthening. So this guy is going to lengthen from a non-vowel, or half vowel, some would call the shewa, to the short vowel, chirik. Okay. And that's exactly what we have going on. Right there. Boom, boom. He lengthened. Okay? So that's very normal. You'll see that all the time. So lishetey, so to the shetayim, 2, for the shetayim, for the 2, and then we drop them in. Lishetey, for 2 of, okay, I can't quite reach. Yedotayv. There we go. Yedotayv. So yedot are tenons. Tenons. It's related to the word yad, right? Yad. Tenons. Like tenons are, in some contexts, it can be like a peg that goes in a hole. The point is it's holding 2 things together. It can be a tenon that kind of gets hammered in there, or it can be like if you had holes in 2 pieces of wood, like they both had a hole, and you pushed a peg all the way through, it could be that. But more often, tenon. No worries, Vicky. Glad to see you. Okay, any comments or questions? Oh, so yedot, that's the plural, that's tenons, of vav, right? And you guys know the vav at the end, right? The vav at the end is your friend. That means his. By the way, am I going too slow? I know we're doing some of the basic things lately. I've been talking about them again and again because I want you guys to have it down, but I also don't want to make it boring for the more advanced students, so kind of let me know. So that's his. The vav at the end is his. So his yedot, or its yedot. Okay? So that's a pretty long verse, but maybe I'll just go through it again real quickly. Vearbaiym adeney. Hold on, I've got red lines on my screen. There we go, now I can see it. Vearbaiym adeney chesed, and 40 pedestals of silver. Taaseh, you shall make tachat, the tuchas, underneath. Asrim, 20, haqaresh, the plank. You see how Hebrew does this sometimes? It doesn't say the planks. It says the plank. This is very common to just take an item, put it in the singular, like kind of treating it like a collective noun, and we just say, okay, that's talking about the planks. So just be aware of this when you bring it into English or into whatever your native language is or your target language, we have to treat that as a plural in many languages to make sense, okay? Esrim, the plank, 20, under 20, the plank, okay? All right. Shenei adanim, 2 of the pedestals, tachat, haqaresh, ha'echat, underneath the plank, the 1. So underneath each plank, you have 2 pedestals underneath it. Lishetey yedotayv, belonging to the 2 of its yedotayv. Did I skip a line or something? Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Maybe I skipped this part before. I think we might have jumped to the end. It's tenons. Usheney, that's from shanim, 2. We drop the mem. 2 of. Oh yeah, okay. Let's talk about this one for a second. Now here it's u. What's up with u? Why is it u? So here we have the similar thing happening with the lengthening. So by default, let's go here. Actually, I'll go back to the other one. Let's go to the other one. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So by default, similar to the prepositions, the inseparable prepositions, actually, those are inseparable. I just didn't feel like writing that out. And I wasn't sure if I would spell inseparable correctly. So, by default, if we want to put a vav, this is our conjunction. If you care about those things. You don't have to know, but if you care, there it is. The conjunction vav, by default, it also takes a shewa, right? Just like these guys, right? They're very similar. But again, there are situations where it needs to lengthen. One of them is if the word starts with a schwa. You can't do that. Okay. The other is our famous bump schwa rule we've been talking about for a while. So that means, actually that's the full rule. Bump schwa. We'll write the full thing. Bump schwa. So if the first letter of the word is a bait or a mem or a pay, that can be pay or fay, bait can be bait or vait. Those are the same letters. Some people learn them as different letters. That's fine, but you need to know it's really the same letter. It's just pronounced differently depending on context. Okay, great. Julie's liking the going slow. Julie says, you're separating things with colors and explaining them out is helping me to understand the meaning of these terms. Great, great. Yeah, I know it's going to be helpful for visual learners. So you're probably a visual learner, I bet, Julie. But I'm a little concerned about our auditory learners, especially those that just listen to the podcast. So maybe give me feedback in the comments down below if this isn't working so well for you. Because I'm trying to mix how much we do it and not, right? I tend to be visual myself, so I don't want to be biased. Kenneth says, thank you for explaining Hebrew grammar. I can now appreciate my childhood English grammar classes. You're welcome. That's lovely. Yeah, that's funny. It can be that way, right? Doing another language often forces us to finally do English grammar. It's true. Oh, I hated English when I was a kid. Hated it. Oh, just hated it. Thought it was so boring. The worst. Yeah, I think for sure it was my least favorite class. All right. So, but Vav will also try to lengthen if it just... Yeah, okay, let's leave it like this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You've got the bump schwa rule. So in those cases, it becomes ooh, right? If the word starts with b, m, or p, or if it starts with a schwa, that's the bump schwa rule. Okay. Then we change our v, we lengthen that vowel to a shurik, to ooh. So let's have a look at it. And that's what we have going on here. I'm going to circle it on the upper right. You should see over the... No! What did you do? Ah, the pen turned off. Okay. I'm learning how to balance all these things. I'm hoping to get... I saw a device that lets you program in... I think it's called Loopback. It lets you program in different things you want. You can press one button and it'll like do a bunch of macros and do whatever settings in software. So it's really... I'm hoping... B'ezrat Hashem, this next year we can get one of those, and that'll be great. I'll have it hooked up to the computer, and I can have whatever I need to do with audio, whatever I need to do with changing colors, whatever I need to do with other things, changing views or whatever. So okay. So ooh, there he is. Ooh, That is a result of the bump schwa rule. In this case, it's the schwa part of the bump schwa. Because look, the sheen, it's not a b, it's not a m, and it's not a p, but it does have a schwa under it. Sheney. And you can't say vesheney. So we say usheney. He lengthens to an u instead of just to a chirik. Okay. U and... Let me move myself over there. After this, I got to get a drink. I'm getting thirsty. Usheney and two of adanim, pedestals, tachat, under haqaresh ha-echad, the plank, the one. So oftentimes echad can be used like this to mean each, like under each one. But if you think about it, it makes sense. You could even be hyperliteral. Under the plank, the one. Okay, and I think people will understand that. A lot of times I find people really respect more being hyperliteral in your Hebrew translations than just kind of going with trying to get the meaning across. So it depends on the audience, right? Like if they're trying to really learn, they want to feel what the text feels like, or are they doing their own thing, or they just want the meaning. It just kind of depends. Okay. Lishetey. Lishetey, so that's a silent schwa now. Shetey was vocal, but now it's a closed syllable. So lishetey. Lishetey yadotayv. Belonging to two of its tenons. Okay? All right, I need to get a drink now. Feel free to ask any comments or questions you may like. Let me just move off screen. Okay. Hope you guys didn't hear the drinking. I pressed the mute button like 3 times, trying to get the microphone to mute while I was drinking, and then I didn't realize it muted, and then I unmuted with the 4th press. So whatever. Raphael says I'm one of the hyperliteral learners. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I figure it's better. A lot of times with Hebrew, even though we're always talking about how it's very nuanced, oftentimes a word the same word can have a different meaning, right? Like we talked about zar recently. Zar meaning alien, or a man who's not a woman's husband, right? Or a foreign god, or an encroacher. It could be a Levi who's not supposed to be in one area, but he's coming from his area. Right? So, it could be Bnei Israel, who's not a Levi, right? Who's not allowed to do certain things, right? So like me, I'm not allowed to do the Levi stuff, right? So any of those things, it's got and so the context is very important. But I've realized finally, I've realized, maybe just with you guys, maybe with this current batch now, that very often, if you select the right basic meaning for the word, you can figure out those various nuances without having to see the lexicon showing in this case, right? So hopefully you guys can benefit from that. My slow learning, and finally I got it. Okay, thanks, Brenda. Yofi. Let me see, how we doing? Okay. Considering our technical issues at the beginning, we're doing all right. All right, which verse is this now? If you don't see the arrow on the screen, let me know. I'm trying to keep that on there. Oh, let me do something real quickly. Oh yeah, this will be great. Let's do that. Yeah. Ha ha! Now we're cooking with gas. Check it out. There we go. I think Gary had recommended making it bigger in one of the lessons, and I just thought, let's make it hot pink and big, so that's much easier to see. All right. See? Continual improvement. We're getting there. And my light up here moved for some reason. Where are you there? There we go. All right. Verse. Kaf Aleph. 21. Oh, no, not that's wrong. Kaf. Verse Kaf. 20. I see the same thing here as here, so. Okay. Uletsela hamishkan hashenit liphat safon asrim haqaresh. Right? Uletsela. So let's break it down. Switching to pen mode. All right. Ooh, look what's happening. It's ooh. It's ooh there again. Ooh. Because of the schwa. Bump, schwa. Right? It's this rule here again, but it's happening over there. Ooh, and then we've got another lamed. 2 or 4. Tsel'ah. What is that? What is it? Tsel'ah. Tsel'ah. Well, it's a rib. That means rib. So, and for a rib, and we'll just leave it like that for now. I'm gonna, instead of just me giving you the architectural meaning, let's leave it there and see what you guys think it can mean in context here. Right? Hey, shalom, Arjun Tarar. Glad to have you here. Where are you from, Arjun? Are you from India? Let's see here. Do you know Manju? Just kidding. You have to all know. Everybody knows each other in one country. You know that joke? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Okay, so let's 33. Okay, great. Okay, great. Well, you're very welcome. Right. Definitely appreciate what friends India has been to Israel lately. All right. Uletsela, so and for or belonging to the tsela, the rib. I'm just going to keep it there. Trying to pass on what I have finally realized would be a good way for teaching this. Ha-mishkan, the mishkan, the tabernacle. Okay. And everybody sees the nice, nice to meet you too, Achi. Everybody sees the nice root here, right? You're all familiar with this. We've got the sheen, kaf, nun. Shachan is the verb to inhabit or indwell. And this is where we get the word shekhinah. Shekhinah. Well, it's a rabbinical Hebrew word, but shekhinah is the indwelling of God's spirit, basically, like his intense presence, like his focus on a certain makom, a certain place, and ait and time. And so you can think of the Mishkan. It's something where his spirit can shachan, right? And I'm not going to do it, Brenda. I'm not going to make my usual joke. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to make you want it instead. I'm not going to say it. I'm exercising some discipline. Oh yeah, wouldn't that be funny if you guys knew each other? Exercising in like the second largest populated country in the world. Exercising some discipline, okay? Ha-mishkan, almost, okay. So the mem is telling you, as I've shared before, oftentimes you can make a noun, or you can recognize, if you didn't know what mishkan meant, but you knew the verb shachan, to inhabit, like to indwell, to dwell. If you just knew that, and I've showed you guys before that oftentimes if you see a mem attached to a noun as part of the noun, and you know the verbal root, then that oftentimes designates something which is used by the verb for the verb to actuate its meaning, right? So in order to indwell, you got to have something to indwell, right? So the Mishkan, it's the place of the Shachan, of the Shekhinah. See? So hopefully you can maybe get 3 words for the price of 1 there. Like it's bonus Hebrew word day right now. So enjoy the crazy end of year sales. I always thought it'd be funny to have a commercial like we used to. I used to live in Texas, and in Texas there were these funny furniture commercials and stuff. And I always thought it'd be funny to have a commercial like in the future, have one of my kids up there like, and I'm like, I'm sorry kiddo, we got to discount this stuff, half price. It's the end of the year. No, Daddy, it's too expensive. Sorry, kiddo. The kids want their the people want their sale. Oh, it's funny in my head. Anyway, so you get a discount on these words. You get mishkan, you get shachan, you get shechina. Oh, and you could get shoken, od. Od. Shoken also. Od means also in Hebrew. Shoken also. Shoken is a neighbor, right? It's someone who shachan's next to you. That's a shoken, right? The best sale so far, right? 961. What are you're waiting for the sale pay? Or is the video not flowing for you? I just want to be sure it's okay. All right, continuing. Where were we? Oh, we're 47 minutes in. Oh, because we had the tech issues. Do you guys mind? Can we go a little bit longer? Because we had the technical issues early on. I still want to do the right flow of the class. I don't want to just rush through. I want us to enjoy, and I want the words to stick in your head. My hope for you is that every class you get at least one word for free. Like it doesn't take extra effort to remember at least one word. Because if you do that every single time, your vocabulary is going to really grow. Okay. So Hamishkan, Hashenit. Okay. Uletsela, and to the rib of Hamishkan, the tabernacle, the Mishkan, Hashenit, the second. Okay, so what are we talking about? The second rib. Liphat tzafon. So peah usually means corner, but the sages teach that, at least in the Mikrot Gadolot, it teaches that in terms of the Mishkan, this means like the more extreme side. So the extreme side, liphat, to the peah of. Remember, whenever you see a tav at the end of a word that ends in a hey, here, I'll do the rule over here on the right side. When a hey at the end of a word becomes a tav, that's how you say of with those kinds of words. Okay, that means of. Okay. So li, belonging to the peah. These are also this part here that comes down. That's also peah, or you hear them called peos sometimes. That's because the Ashkenaz pronunciation of the tav is a s. So to the peah, corner or the extreme side of tzafon. Tzafon means north. So what are we talking about the rib? So I think you get it by now. In this context, the rib means the side. The side. Rather the long side. If you look aerially down at the Mishkan or at the Ohel Moed, it's kind of rectangular, right? So the longer sides can be considered the ribs. Later in the Heichal, in the Beit Elohim, in the temple, or the Beit HaMikdash, so many names for it, sometimes just Habayit, you can call it, the house. Rating for your rib now, okay. Then, are you having internet issues, Pei? I think we're fine on the broadcast side now. Then what it means is, it's a chamber, like a room, something like that, like a side room, a side chamber. Okay, so you can see how you just really nuance it. But if you can just remember it means rib, then you can figure out in the context. It's not like a big giant rib bone that was in the Mishkan, right? Okay, and we finish that verse with Aslim 20 haqaresh, plank, 20 plank. Again, singular, but it's a common plural, a common noun. I mean, any comments or questions? You guys doing okay? How far did I predict we would go through today? How many verses? 22, okay. Verse 22. Maybe it's just going to be 21. So I don't want to keep you here longer than an hour. All right. So verse Kaf Aleph, that's 21. 20 plus 1. So I read things on my screen. Vearbaiym adneihem kasef. See? Up above we had chesef in verse 19, if you remember, right? We had vearbaiym adnei chesef and 40 pedestals of chesef, of silver. But here it's changed to kasef, because that little wishbone guy, the etnachtar, or the atnach, or atnachtar, it's got different names. Pei, you're saying you're waiting for a spouse, I think that's what you mean, yeah? May Adonai provide you speedily and soon, Achi. Julie says, can you explain the mem at the beginning of the word again? I want to make sure I wrote it down correctly. Sure. Okay. So, here we go. Let me get my camera. She's talking about this one right here. That mem. That guy. That. Okay. So what I'm saying is if you come across a noun, and you can tell it's a noun, like you know that this mem, it doesn't mean from, right? If it meant from, how would it be marked? In the word hamishkan, the sheen would have a dagesh in it, right? Because the word from is min, and oftentimes it collapses and contracts. So min becomes mi, and then there's a dot in the first part of the word. So since there's not a dot in the sheen here, there's no dot right there, we know that it doesn't mean from. So that means it's part of the word. It's not two words that contracted, like cannot in English becoming can't, right? So when you have a noun that you don't know the meaning of, and it's got a mem that's been attached as part of the word, it's part of that noun, and you recognize the root of the verb, you know what that root means. For example, you know that shachan means to dwell, right? Or to inhabit, like that. Then you can assume that this word is something that assists the verbal meaning in doing what it does. Okay? So, for example, mizbeach. We've had mizbeach before, right? Maybe I'll draw there for the visual learners. Yeah, let's go here. We'll go to our notes page. Okay? So, the verb zavach, well, that's very sloppy. Zavach means to sacrifice. Zavach, okay? That's sacrifice. Hopefully I spelled it right in English. Sacrifice, right? I think that's... my English spelling is just terrible. Sacrifice. I think that's right. Oh, I'm in the way, of course. I'm in the way. Go back, you. Why is this happening to me? I really want to get that device where I can just press a button. That'll be so nice. Okay. Now we can. Okay. Now go back. Phew. Okay. And I'm still in the way. All right. So that's the sacrifice. Zavach is the verb sacrifice. A zavach, or zevach, this is a sacrifice. Okay? But what do you need to do a sacrifice? You need a mizbeach. Mizbeach. I'm not writing the vowels intentionally so that you can see how similar they look. So we've added this mem here, and that means an altar. Altar. Okay? Similarly, over here on the left, let's do it. Shachan is to inhabit. Inhabit, indwell. Well, that doesn't look so good. Inhabit. We'll just say dwell. That's fine, okay. So, if I run into this with a mem in front of it, mishkan, see, we've got the mem attached to it, and it's not from, it's not the prefix from. So, that's tabernacle. If we're talking about God's Spirit, what does it inhabit? Tabernacle. Or the Mishkan. Okay? Good. I was wondering if it was an I there instead. It did feel wrong. It did feel wrong a little bit, I think. Stupid English. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So did that help, Julie? You got it? So over in verse 21, the Mishkan, the place where God's Spirit shachans, or shochens, where it indwells. Right? It's the tabernacle. Okay. Okay. vearbaiym and 40 adeney. Oh, I didn't tell you about hem. Hem means there. There, right? And I think you guys you've learned this if you've learned the suffixes. If you have not learned the suffixes for Biblical Hebrew, please go to, when you have a chance, on this channel, my channel here, go to the language snippets playlist. There's lots of playlists. Some people, they come to the channel and they only look at videos. They don't realize most of our teachings are under the live tab. I don't know why YouTube does that. Like, a live recording is no longer a video. Like, video is something different than live. Live is a video. It's a subset of video. It's like video's the genus and live is one of the species. They totally shouldn't be like equal categories. I don't know why they do that. That's not my choice. I can't control that. Brenda says, so the mem makes the word a place. No, not necessarily a place, but think of it as an instrument used in the execution of the verb, right? When the verb is doing something, right? For example, even in modern Hebrew this happens. You guys know the word Allah, Allah, to go up, to ascend, Allah. I remember my first time in the land, I'm at the airport, and I saw the sign, ma'alit. So I recognize the verb is Allah, to go up, and the mem, something that helps you go up. So it's got to be escalator or elevator, or ladder, or but not ladder. That's sulami. So sure enough, is elevator. so you can, even in modern Hebrew, you can take your biblical Hebrew knowledge, and a lot of times you can figure stuff out. Just kind of, okay, yeah, Yakar got it. Yeah, exactly. Ma'alit, good. So that's not really a place necessarily, but it's helping you to do what the verb is, right? Okay, this is just kind of a general recognition sort of thing. It's not 100% always going to work out that way for you, but very often it will help you. Okay. And biblical Hebrew morphology is kind of complicated, so you don't always get, for example, they're not always going to form that way. Sometimes they form that way, sometimes they put a post-positive aleph, there's other things it does, but this is one of the patterns you can recognize. Okay, where were we? Adeney, hem. So the hem, if you look at my pronominal suffixes video in language snippets, that means them, theirs, etc. Third person, plural, for those of you who like that stuff, okay? So eden is a pedestal. Adanim are pedestals. Drop the mem. Adeney, pedestals of hem. Literally, it says pedestals of hem, of them. So they're pedestals. Vearbaiym adeneyhem, and 40, their pedestals, or of their pedestals, of kasef. That's kesef, silver. Usheney adanim, from shnayim, 2 of adanim, pedestals, tachat, underneath, haqaresh ha'echad, each plank, or the plank, the one. U, that's our bump schwa rule. Instead of v, it's u. And sheney, 2 of, adanim, pedestals, tachat, underneath, haqaresh ha'echad, the plank, the one. Yeah, you're welcome, Vicky. You got it. Verb plus a preformative mem makes it a noun. Exactly. Thank you, Brenda. Brenda put a link there. I think that's to my, is that to the pronominal suffixes? I'm going to have a look-see real quick. Yeah, cool. Exactly. Thank you so much, Brenda. So don't click it now, guys, or you'll leave the video. But that's, so maybe we'll stop here at verse 21 because we're already an hour in. I don't want to take you too long. I'll just adjust it that we made it through 21 verses tonight. Any final comments or questions before I let you go? Oh, your comment was good, Vicky. You didn't have to delete that. That was good. Okay, also, if you're watching it later, if you weren't able to make it to class today, you can leave a comment down below. That's fine, and I'll answer it as I can, all right? Or somebody else may answer it as well. Or you can join us at our community, Hebrew Literacy Community. And maybe I'll just put that up there real quickly. It's t.me, YouTube.com/Hebrew Literacy. For using the Telegram app. Julie says, that was a fantastic lesson. Thank you so much, Rav. Very welcome. Maybe that's why we had the problems at the beginning. I'm glad you guys liked it. Okay, or at least Julie liked it. Okay, you guys, shalom. Have a great day or evening ahead. I hope your day will be blessed and full of joy, and you'll just be remembering the Hebrew stuff more and more every day, so you can really have that joy of having the holy tongue in your heart. You're very welcome.